Here we go. Here we go. Yes, people, welcome back to my channel. It's Tobes. I'm here back with another Here We Go for Tottenham. Today. Well, yesterday we got the Here We Go, so I had to drop the video today. People, João Palhinha is on his way to Tottenham Hotspur. Fabrizio has given the bomber. Yeah? I don't know if you can call this a bomber. It's not really a bomber, if I'm being honest. But it's a signing. It's another signing for Tottenham. João Palhinha to Tottenham. Here we go. Final green light arrived right now from Bayern. Exclusive detail. Loan deal includes a €30 million buy option clause for Tottenham. Not mandatory. Salary covered by Spurs. Bayern said yes. Palhinha will travel now for medical tests. Let's hope nobody hijacks this one. I'm kidding. Or is it too soon for that? But people, let's talk about Palhinha because this deal, I've been debating this deal with my friends for so long. And anyone who knows me knows where I stand on this deal now. And I've also been debating with myself on this deal. And it's a mixed deal, I'll be honest. I do think it's a decent signing for Tottenham. I think at worst, Tottenham are getting a guaranteed starter into a position that, let's be honest, they haven't really sought out to get a natural player to sit in. Sorry, I'm waffling with my words, but what I'm trying to say is, over the last couple of years, Spurs have not gone out of their way to sign an out-and-out number 6. If you look at the midfielders we signed Højbjerg, who played there for Southampton. He's not a 6. We signed Bentancur, who's played there for Juventus. He's played there for Spurs. He's not a 6. We signed Basuma to play there. He's not a natural 6. Yes, he plays there, but he's not a natural 6, right? We have signed Archie Gray. He's not a natural 6. He may grow into that role, but we don't know. We spent a lot of money on him. The point I'm making is, I am struggling to remember the last time Spurs actually went out of their way to sign an out-and-out number 6. And if memory harps back, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think it's Wanyama. Wanyama is the last natural DM that I think I've seen Tottenham go out of their way to sign. And we all know how that ended in his first season. He was a fantastic signing for Tottenham. Fantastic signing for Tottenham at the time. And even though he had his injury issues, when you look at the amount we spent on him, £11 million or £12 million or something like that, it was a snip. What he gave us in his first season alone was worth the money. But if I bring this back to Palhinha, the reason why I think it's mixed and why I think it's a decent signing, but there's still other things that need to be discussed, is first and foremost, like I said, Palhinha comes into Tottenham as, for me, a guaranteed starter when everyone is fit and available and he's playing his best football. Yeah, if he's not playing his best football, different story. But if he's fresh, fit, he's a starter in that team. And fundamentally, Tottenham needed to sign starting caliber players to come into this squad, right? Spurs don't have a number 6. Palhinha comes in as a number 6. Palhinha is a better number 6 than Basuma. Palhinha is a better number 6 than Bentancur. Palhinha is a better number 6 than Archie Gray. Palhinha is a better number 6 than whoever we put in that position. He's just better than them. He's a dual-winning monster. He's a fantastic tackler. He's got bags and bags of energy. He's so strong, literally physically strong. Yeah, he's literally what you want, like in your traditional defensive midfielder. He puts the defensive in defensive midfielder. Like, he is there to defend. He eats everything. Eats up ground. Eats up players. He eats everything. Pause. And I can't believe I got suckered into saying pause by myself. But yeah, he's an eater. Yeah, man. Literally, he's just trying to get the ball, win the ball back. And I feel like having a player like that in our squad, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Having a player to start games for Tottenham that can do that, it's not a bad thing. And when you look at the actual financials of the deal as well, I actually think financially it's a good deal for Tottenham. I think it's a decent signing. And when you look at the player, I think he's a very good DM, but I think it's a decent signing for Tottenham overall. But if I speak on the positives, I think you look at, I've spoken about the player himself, but then if you look at the financials, we don't have to buy him permanently. So if he does bomb, which we don't want to see, don't have to buy him permanently, especially considering he's 30 years old. So you don't really want to be stuck with a depreciating asset. But if you look at it as well, it's only loan, so it's short term. So it's not like, even if he does bang, it doesn't set us back long term in terms of our squad building, because we know that the club have been operating on a different strategy in terms of the type of players they're signing, younger players, specific profile, this, that, and the third. And then when you look at the buy option as well, it's 30 million euros. So if he bangs, let's hope he does. If he gives what he gave at Fulham and he comes in and he makes that sort of impact, 30 million euros, if the club wanted to take up the offer to sign a 31-year-old next year, it's pretty cheap. So financially, what we're doing is we've probably paid a loan fee. I don't know how much the loan fee is, and we're covering these wages. That's a pretty solid deal. It's low risk and it's potentially high reward for an established Premier League proven midfielder who's had a rough time at Bayern Munich. So yeah, I think those are the positives of the deal. But if I look at my reservations on the player, it's nothing against Palhinha. I think he's fantastic at what he does, but I think the profile player that we needed, as in like mission critical need, was not him. Now, it's not to say I won't take that player on the financials and the framework that has been given to us with this signing, but it's more the fact that I look at the team and what do I think we're dying for in the midfield, and for me, it's someone who specialises in passing. Like, Spurs don't really go out of their way to sign specialist midfielders. Like, I think Maddison is one, and Ndombele is one, and who am I thinking? Maybe Bergvall's one. But if I look at the midfielders we signed, we like to sign jack of all trades but master of none. So I look at Bentancur. Like, I think at his best, Bentancur is a good player, but Bentancur can do quite a few things well, but he doesn't specialize in anything. Like, he's not a specialist passer. He can dribble, but he's not a specialist dribbler. He's not really a specialist shooter. He's not really a specialist tackler, even though he's very tenacious off the ball. I look at Sarr. He's very strong, wins duels, can run, can cover up ground. He has a knack for scoring goals, but doesn't really specialize in ball striking, doesn't really specialize in dribbling, doesn't really specialize in tackling, doesn't really specialize in passing. You look at other midfielders who signed, Basuma, I think he's great at protecting the ball, but he's not a specialist. For me, I think Tottenham are missing a specialist passer, someone who's capable of just, not even just praying the long passes, but you can make the short, zippy, quick, progressive passes to get the team moving. Or if we're up against a deep block, you can find those gaps and shift the block. You can make that block move, right? That's the type of midfielder that we need. I look at our team and we're dying. I look at Liverpool, they've got McAllister. I look at Chelsea, they've got Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. I look at Man City, they've got Rodri, who's a brilliant passer. I look at who else? Arsenal, they got Zubimendi, who they just signed as a specialist. Like, I'm looking at all these teams who have specialist passers, and I'm just like, when are we going to get a piece of that? When are we going to get a piece of that? When is Spurs going to go out of their way and sign a specialist midfielder who can pass? Because that's what we need, the ball progression through the middle. I don't want to see Maddison having to drop deep all the time. Yeah, he can do it. But we need midfielders who can get the ball to the likes of a Maddison, get the ball to the likes of a Kudus. And I'm not saying Palhinha is a terrible passer. I think Palhinha he's a decent passer. But he's not an amazing passer. He's not an amazing one. He doesn't specialise in passing the same way Bentancur doesn't specialise in passing, the same way Sarr doesn't specialise in passing, the same way Basuma doesn't specialise in passing. Yeah? Like, none of these guys are specialists. And for me, I feel like that's the profile midfielder that takes us up another level. It's the profile we're missing. And I know profile, but it's the truth. It is, man. We need passing quality, not decent. Not, okay, yeah, I can make nice, short, progressive 5-yard passes. No, I want a midfielder who can do the lot. Tielemans can make the quick, progressive, short passes, but he can make the long ones. He can put people through on goal. Like, Bruno Guimaraes can pass. Like, Adam Morton is a quality passer. Like, quality dictator. Like, why is it such a crime to want these type of midfielders? So that's why I'm like, the Palhinha signing, it's decent. Like, it's in the middle. Like, he's a good player, very good player at what he does. Low risk deal. The financials are great, but it's like, is it, whilst we've added another starter into our team, so these are all ticks, but it's like, for me, I want to see that profile midfielder alongside Palhinha. Imagine how good Tottenham would be if we had the Palhinha to break up play, distribute it to the passer, or distribute it to the attackers, and we had that passer to just dictate. After Palhinha wins it and protects us, you dictate play, or Palhinha, you stay back, you stop all the counters, and the passer, you spray. Imagine how good that would be. Yes, I know people have spoken, Bergvall, he could develop into that. He can. Bergvall's a baller, but Bergvall's 19 years old. I think, for me, that's why there's a cap on this sign, because as very good as Palhinha is at the art of defensive midfielding, he's also not that profile that I've just spoken about, and I think we need that profile. You look at Tottenham right now, I think Thomas Frank, personally, the system he will play, we won't be as exposed in the midfield. I think it will be tighter. We'll see we'll see a double pivot, and we'll see midfielders played closer together, so there's not that much space. So for me, in this type of system that I feel like we're going to play with Thomas Frank, I think we need a passer. But listen, the manager obviously rates the player, so clearly he has a use for the player, and I think we have a definite use for the player. So let's see how it goes. I'm hoping he bangs. I think he will do well, personally. But I also hope that he's not the only midfielder that we sign this summer. I think we absolutely need one more for the reasons I've just stated. And I think we need to get a move on some sales. Basuma, listen, you're my guy. You're a cool dude. You're a funny guy. You stepped up big in the Europa League, but you have to go. If it was down to me, I would sell Basuma and Bentancur. I actually think at their best, they're both good players, but they're just not dependable week to week. And some would attribute that to Ange, but personally, I think I've watched them enough. Bentancur post-knee injury, Basuma just in general. And whilst I can give allowances for the poor football Ange played, I do think, yeah, man, we need some more reliable players, especially with both having a year left on the contract each. It doesn't really make sense to sign them up to new deals. You're better off selling now, get value. You've got Palhinha on loan. Can you get another player like a Douglas Luiz or whatever, or maybe try and go ambitious for Adam Morton, like we said? Can you do those things? Remains to be seen. Either you get us a player deeper in the midfield to create, or you get us a player who's going to compete with Maddison in factoring in Kulusevski's injury to add creativity. That's what we need, either in the 10 or in the 8. Get us that creativity. That's what we need. But Palhinha overall, I think it's a decent signing, and I hope he does well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, people. What do you think about this deal? Where do you think Palhinha can push Tottenham in the league? What do you think this deal represents for the rest of our midfielders? Let me know if you think I'm off the mark with the profile that we're missing. But until then, people, take care, peace out, and up the Spurs.